Hey guys, welcome back. Today Michael's going to walk us through adding road corridor cross sections to our construction document set. And there are a number of different ways that you can show a road corridor. It's a 3D object. You could look at it in the plan view, which is from the top. You could look at it along the profile, which would be from the side along the length of the road corridor. Or if you chopped the road corridor right through the middle of the road, you would have a cross section. And so if you're going to look at the cross section, you might want to look at a cross section every 50 feet or 100 feet along the entire length of the corridor. And this view is very helpful to the contractors. So we will usually cut cross sections, which will generate a lot of different cross sections, but we can add them all to the construction document set on 1 or 2 or 3 sheets in a very easy way, and Michael's going to show us how to do that. So let's learn.
Hey, this is going to be a video showing y'all how to create these cross sections of your corridor that you create for a like a single family layout. So this is the end goal. This is the cross section of the corridor or the road, including like here's your this is called the assembly here, and this is like the sidewalk, the curb and gutter, the road. You see the crown on the road to pitch the water either way. And part of completing a CD set for a neighborhood is creating these cross sections at usually 50-foot intervals, so that they have like the elevation of the road at that point and the distance from the center line. So if we go into our file, and the first step is going to be to create the sample lines. The sample lines are where the cross sections are going to be created for that at that specific point along your alignment. So at this point, you should have an alignment, you should have a corridor, you should have a vertical road profile. You need all of these things to create your cross sections. So if you have all that and you're ready to make those, the first step is going to be to go to sample lines. Then down here it says select an alignment or press a key to select from a list. So we'll just select from a list. We'll select our road that we want to do. We'll do cotton loop. Click OK. And then over here you can select, this is where you select how often you want your sample lines or how you want CAD to create your sample lines. If you do from corridor stations, it's gonna create a lot of sample lines. You just want them every 50 feet usually. So to do that, we'll click by range of stations. You can adjust where you want your alignment, where you want the sample lines to start. Sometimes your alignment crosses over into a different corridor and you'd want to start it a little bit after it. In this case, we're just going to keep it at 0. We'll scroll down to the increments along. Here's the increments. So they're already set to 50-foot increments. So we're going to leave that. If we wanted to change it to a different number, if you wanted sample lines every 10 feet, you change that to 10 feet. Generally, you want about 50 feet. The other thing we want to make sure is set is the left and right swath widths. That's going to be how far your sample lines go from your alignment to the left and to the right. In this case, we want you want to make sure it's at least the width of your corridor. So our corridor here is 57 feet from right away. The width of the right of way is 57 feet, I believe. I actually need to hit escape and check really quick. So from here to here, yeah, 57 feet. To the right, we have 25 feet, and this way we've got 32 feet. If we turn our corridor on, we can see it as well. CC Road Corridor. So you see we want our sample line to be at least to the back of the sidewalk on each side. So we'll do, if it's just from the alignment, this is going to be to the right, so we'll do 25 feet to the right, and we'll do 30 feet to the left, because that gets us to the back of the sidewalk. Let's check. Yeah, there's the back of the sidewalk right there. Yeah, I think 30. 30 and 25. So 25 right, 30 left. So we're going to go back in. You want to measure that before. Sample lines. Select your alignment. Looking for cotton loop. There it is. This drop down by range of stations. To the left 30, to the right 25. 50-foot increments. Click OK. And now if we go to our site plan or grading plan, it created your sample lines that you see we did it to the edge of the right of way over here, and over here we just did it to get past the edge of the sidewalk. So there are your sample lines there. That's going to be used to create those cross sections. So we're going to want to make a layer for these sample lines. Call it CZ Road Sample Lines. You can select one of them, SSA, go to the drop down, and then put it on that sample line layer as well as the labels for it. Now we're going to create our section view. So you come up to the top, section view, create multiple section views. Select alignment, cotton loop, sample line group name. We're going to want to rename that, so because we're going to have multiple sample line groups. So if we go into our prospect, point group surfaces, alignments. So you go into alignments, centerline alignments, you select your specific alignment that you made the sample lines for, sample line groups. And if we should have renamed it before, but now that we didn't, we have to go back and name it. So there we go. Section views, create multiple views. Cotton loop, whatever the name of your road is. Section view name. I don't think we can name it cotton loop. Section view style, you want to make sure that the CVLX road section's loaded into your file. If it's not, grab it from the styles template and load it in. Next, group plot style, CVLX. This is how they're going to plot all together, because there's going to be 20 of them, so you want to make sure that they fit well on the page. So we'll just do the CVLX. Next. Here you want to make sure that your existing surface as well as the proposed road surface and assembly are going to plot onto your cross section. They're already selected. Next. Create section views. Zoom out to wherever you want to put them, and then you can click them in. chain, and then make sure this is at the 20 scale on the bottom right. Just regen. We don't need these labels. We're gonna add our own labels. I'm just selecting them and running SSA. Make sure you don't have anything else selected in the file. Looks good. Delete. So now we want to add the labels to it. So if you select your cross section there. So here's the existing surface, and this is the proposed cross section as well as the surface. Add view labels, offset elevation, and then you want to label it here on the center line. Put it in the drag state, and then change. So now it's saying over 0 feet from the center line, and that's the elevation at that point. And you just go through the same process with the the back of curve right there. Add view labels, offset elevation, pick a point right there. And then you can just, you can select one and run MA, or just select them and change the style at the same time. And put in the drag state, like that, and like that. So you just you'd go and just continue that same process for each of them. So it says select the section view, and then you can just select all your points at the same time. There, there, and there. And then you can select all 3 of these, edit label style, CVLX. We'll go like that. So I mean that's kind of it. We can do. I'll show one more really quick, doing a different road. So kind of from the beginning. So if we go to our site plan, turn on our. Actually, we don't need to turn the alignment on. Just do sample lines. Ashton Road. Hey, this is going to be another video showing how to do the road cross sections for a single family neighborhood. So previously we created these and we started adding labels to them. I realized that I skipped the first step of selecting the surfaces and everything. It was done before the video was recorded. So I'm just going to record this showing the entire process. So here's our alignment for Cashton Road. We're going to create the section views for that road. So if we go up to sample lines, you can select your alignment. Sample line style, just standard. The name, we'll do Cashton Road. And then down here, we're going to select our data sources. We want to have existing and any surfaces that are related to Cashton Road. So we're going to uncheck, we actually want to check that one. And then we're going to uncheck everything else. These are all surfaces and corridors that are not related to Cashton Road. So we're unchecking all of these and all the storm alignments, the alleys. We have Cashton Road surface and the Cashton Road the assembly and the existing surface. we can change the style of the existing surface to EG, and we can change the style of that one of the actual surface to PG for the Cashton Road surface. Click OK. So you see it's creating this baseline or this line that's dragging up and down the alignment. You can go in and just click and create sample lines randomly, but you'd want to click this button, this drop down here by range of stations. We'll do $25 feet. We'll do the right and left swath widths are how far the section view is going to go. We'll do 30 feet for both. That should just be whatever the width of your corridor is. We probably can do less on the right side, because if you see on the left side right here, my mouse says there's some parking there, so we would need some additional width. We'll just do 30 on both sides, and then in 50-foot increments like that. Okay. So now it created all these sample lines, and you'd want to put it onto the sample line layer that we created. CZ road sample lines. Next, you go up to section views, create multiple views, change this to Cashton Road. It will make sure that sample line group is also Cashton Road. Change this to the name of the road. Yes. Change the view style to road section, CVLX road section, CVLX plot style. Adjust these if needed. Usually don't need to. And then make sure that all these are being drawn onto your section view. We're actually let's change that to all CVLX label styles. Next, create section views, and then come down to wherever you want to put them in. So it once again created all of these section views for us, and we just need to label them, which you select your cross section, add view labels, offset elevation, select your profile, and then select the points that you want to label. So we want to label there, the back of the curb, and there. And then you can select them all at the same time and change the style to CVLX. And you just keep doing the same thing. Once you have them all together, if they don't fit on the sheet, you may need to move them around or update the array setting, which there'll be a separate video for that.